Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm gonna show you the dish that's acclaimed to be the top of Sichuan cuisine, twice cooked pork, 回锅肉. Let's get right to the ingredients and we'll talk history later. First, pork. I've got some skin on pork belly here. You wanna have a piece about 50% lean to fat ratio and that'll get the best taste. Feel free to use pork shoulder or leg, but pork loin will be too lean for the dish. This time I'm making the most original version of the twice cooked pork, so I've got some in-season green garlic here. If it's hard to get green garlic, leek is also a very good substitute. Other vegetables like cabbage and green chili is also commonly used, but you need to add some cloves of garlic if you do that. The main flavor of this dish comes from three ingredients: fermented black bean, aka 豆豉, and 豆瓣酱, and sugar. Sugar is a must here as you want a slight sweetness in the dish. Sweet bean sauce is also used in place of sugar, but I found that version tends to be a bit too heavy and not as delightful. We also need a piece of ginger when we boil the meat. Let's cook the meat the first time. You need a pot of cold water, turn the heat on, put the pork belly in and bring it to a boil. You might wonder at this point, why it's called twice cooked pork? Well, traditionally, people in Sichuan will boil pork as offerings to their ancestors. After they use the meat for the worship, people will bring the pork home and remake it into something more delicious, thus the twice cook. There's another dish called salt-fried pork, 盐煎肉, that's almost the identical twin of 回锅肉, which doesn't require pre-boiling. When the water comes to a boil, you can see there's some scums on the surface. Use a ladle or a spoon to skim them off as much as possible. We also smash a piece of ginger and put it in the water. These steps are to get rid of the unpleasant taste sometimes skin on pork has. Turn the heat to medium-low and let it simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes, depends on the size of the pork belly. The timing doesn't have to be accurate here, we're just cooking the pork to about 90% doneness. When you can easily pierce through the pork with a chopstick or fork, it means it's ready. Take it out and let it chill. I'm using one piece today and I'll freeze the other piece to save it for another meal. Chilling the meat makes it much easier to slice as the fatty part will be squishy when hot. Patiently slice the meat to fairly thin. One tip is that you want to place the meat that the skin side is facing you. That way it is much easier to have consistent pieces. Cut the root off the green garlic and give them a gentle smack. And cut them diagonally like this. This shape in Chinese cooking term is referred as horse-ear shaped. And we're ready to cook the second time. The stir-fry part of the dish is relatively easy. As we are using a fattier cut of meat, we don't need that extreme high heat. Heat up a wok or pan on medium heat and add a little bit of oil. Add in the sliced meat. Now we're patiently stir-frying and may take a few minutes. Don't rush this step because we want the fat in the meat render. When you see there's a bit of color on the meat, and if you slice it thin enough, the meat slice will curl a little bit. At this point, make a pool in the middle and we can add in the 豆瓣酱, fermented black beans and the sugar. Fry until you smell the strong fragrance and the oil turns red. Lastly, add in the green garlic, turn the heat up, and give a final toss and stir. It'll take less than a minute and we're ready to plate. Hui guo rou is done. The pork has a ton of flavor. It's fatty, spicy, savory, garlicky, and sweet. You should eat the meat and the green garlic together. They complement each other very well. have a bowl of rice on the side, and it's one of the most satisfying meal ever. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. See you next time.